no data. What does that mean? Okay, we're live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook. YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on. Weird. Let's make sure. Oh. No, YouTube is officially getting it. Why is it not showing up? It's a good shayla. Tanakh. You learn Mishnah. Amalei lav came but my friend is seich. So how can I give you anything? Amalei parnaseini sustain me kelev v'choirev. Give it to me like a dog or a raven. That's what it that Hashem helps dogs if they're not getting fed regularly. Hashem helps them make it last longer. That Hashem gives abandoned raven chicks food, so help me do that as well. Rebbe gave him food. Basar Nafak after Rabbi Yonasan ben Amram left, and it would seem that he actually was a Talmid Chacham who was just trying to make a point. I'm not sure. Yosef Rebbe become Rebbe was sitting pained. V'amar oili shenasati piti lama aretz. I've given from my bread to an ama aretz. Amar Rabbi Shimon bar Rabbi Shimon, his son, said, Shema Yonasan ben Amram tamidcho. Maybe he's your actual Talmud, Yonasan ben Amram. She writes le'anis mikvay Torah miyama that doesn't want to get because of Torah. Badku, they checked v'ashkach and found out. Rebbe kansu akol. Everyone can come and eat now. So it sounds like what made Rebbe change his mind? That he was afraid that maybe Talmidei Chachamim wouldn't want to be nana from Torah and they wouldn't get. Doesn't say exactly why. Rebbe Latai, Rebbe, who's saying not Amei Haaretz, is going according to his approach. Talmud Rebbe Impuranis Bala Elam Elabishal Amei Haaretz. That Rebbe says the reason why difficult things happen is because of the Amei Haaretz. But like that story of to make Kalila the price of a crown. To make Kalila Tara Lamelech Kesar to Shadu Atveria that the city of Tiberias was expected to pay. Also, look at the Rebbe v'amrulei. Listen, we're Abanan Badei, and they said, let the rabbis also pay this tax. And Rebbe Amar Lula, he said no. Amrulei, they said to him, Aray Kinan, we're gonna run away. Also, Amei Haaretz, look at the Rebbe and Rashi. Amar Lu, he said to them, Aruku, so run. Arku, they ran. How many? Palgeya and Arku Palgeya, half of them ran away. And then update to the crown tax. Dilyu Palga, half of it was removed. And also Anu Palga came to Rebbe. Those that half remaining came to Rebbe. Amrulain said to him, "Let's wear Abanabada, make the rabbis pay." Amrulain said, "Lie, Arikina, we're gonna run. Aruku, run. Arku Kulu, they all ran except Pashu Kaives. There's only one launderer, Ama Aretz, who was left. Everyone else was rabbinic. Shajua Kaives, and then the tax was placed just on him. Alright, Kaives, he also got out of there. Rashi says, Shajua Kaives, Tilua Pachsemelech ala Kaives, Paka Klila, and the tax was rescinded. Amar Rebbe said, Re'isem, you see, She'im Brunas Bala El B'Shvil Ami Aretz. It's because of those unlearned ones that the difficult times came. Okay, the Mishnah continues. How long is someone supposed to be in the city before they're considered a member of the city? So, they're there for a year, but buying a house automatically qualifies. We have a kasha. This is talking about ir hani dachas. Hachameres v'agameles, a caravan. That's traveling Velana B'Seicha, and it camped out in the city that went idolatrous. Ima, and went evil with them. So unlike the city, which the punishment of the Erni Dachas is mass decapitation and their property being forbidden to benefit from, they don't get that because they're not actually members of the city, and therefore they're just run-of-the-mill individual idolaters, and the punishment is stoning, and their property does not become forbidden. But if they've been there 30 days, they too are punished with decapitation, and their property is forbidden because after 30 days they're part of the city. And our Mishnah said a year. Amar Rava answers like Kasha, they mata, the Yisuve mata. Yisuve mata, Vashashimim, Gabi Yerni Dachas, Ksiv Yoshve Ha'ir. There's a difference between being an actual resident of the city and a dweller in the city. To become a resident and have to also take part in taxes, it would be a year. But to be considered a dwelling in the city, 30 days, and by Yerni Dachas, it says Hakei Sakes Yoshve Ha'ir. So it's the actual people who live there. Kedetanya, and he brings a brisa. So if someone makes a nether not to get benefit from the inhabitants, the men of the city, so the cutoff is 12 months. Less than that is not considered one of the actual people of the city. Less than that is okay. But if the nether is from those who dwell in the city, so it depends. Right, so then it's going to be based on 30 days, and that's Rava's answer. Frek the Gemara, that you're not going to have to give anything until you've lived there for a year. After living in the city for 30 days, you have to contribute to the daily tzedakah fund. If you've been there for 3 months, contribute to the general fund. After 6 months, help pay for clothing for the poor. After 9 for burial. And after 12 months, Zot Rashi. And the Kupal Tzedakah looks us Aniyah, the Kfur, like Aniyah, she Yitzia Yisera. Maybe Rashi is Geires differently. Lepase, it's beams to strengthen the walls. Leshura, no, that's the next Gemara. Lepase, Rabbi Asi, Rabbi Echanon, Kita Naimasnis, and Shemasar Chaydash. Lepase Irtan. So Rabbi Asi says in Rabbi Echanon, okay, so if you have a brisa which says that you have to contribute after 12 months for the gates of the cities, let that be what our Mishnah is talking about. Everyone has to pay for these, for the wall beams. Even orphans. But not the rabbis. They do not need protection. Ule parsha ule tarzina filmiyasmi avar banan tzichin itirusa. So Rashi l'shura tikanachem fixing the walls. The parsha is cavalry, or just one guy. Parash. Riding around and just keeping an eye on things. And the Tarzina Shemer Klezayin Shabani Yerveshim Bais Itzlashar, the weapons keeper. But not the rabbis, they do not need protection. Klal de Milsa, Islu Hana Amine Afilu Miyasmi. And the klal of is, in terms of paying, is that even orphans have to pay something that they are benefiting from. Okay. Rabba, Rama Tzedakah Yasmi the Beit Bar Meria, and Rabba expected the orphans of the Bar Merion family to contribute to tzedakah. Amalei Abai said to him, Tani Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda taught, "Ein place can tzedakah al yasayim mafil binyan shvuyim." You cannot demand tzedakah from orphans, even for redeeming captives, the biggest mitzvah. Amar lei, he said, I'm doing it actually strategically to make their household seem important. Perhaps their father was a well-known philanthropist, and in his death, now the family's reputation is obviously going to fade, and Rebbe it was Rabbah who's deliberately having them contribute to maintain their profile, which is ultimately a benefit for them. The Gemara continues, Ifra Hurmiz. A very Persian name. Ime de Shavur Malka, she was the mother of King Shavur. She sent a purse of coins to Rav Yosef. Amran, she said, Lihavi the mitzvah. This should be for a mitzvah. Lav the mitzvah Rabba. Amran, she said, Lihavi the mitzvah Rabba. So the mother of King Shavur, her name Ifra Hormiz, she sends a purse of coins to Rav Yosef to do a great mitzvah with it. Rav Yosef is thinking about it. My mitzvah Rabba, what is a great mitzvah? Well, me de Tani, Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda. If Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda said that we're not going to make orphans contribute to tzedakah even for redeeming captives, Shema Amino, we see from here, turning the page to Chasam Bebeis, Pidin Shvuyim mitzvah Rabbi, that redeeming captives is a great mitzvah. Amalei Rabba Bar Mari. Rabba said to Rabba Bar Mari, Minam, also the Rabbanan Pidin Shvuyim mitzvah Rabbi. Where does it come from though? Where do they get it from? Pidin Shvuyim mitzvah. Amalei said to him, Rabba Bar Mari replied, they say to you, where shall we go out? Where is this Yechezkel? Yirmiyah. Say to them, he who goes out to die shall go out to die. Those for the sword. Yikes. As things go on later in the pasuk, they get worse. So first is death, followed by the sword. The sword is worse than just being knifed, killed is worse than just dying. We could demonstrate this from a pasuk or just, rash deduction. Right? It's much more degrading, disfiguring to be cut. We have a pasuk that Hashem would rather his righteous just die than be stabbed. So we're dashing in this. Hunger is worse than sword. I'm assuming that's what the Bach does. Right? Getting stabbed is over and done with, but starving takes longer. If you want to take a pasuk, those who died by the sword were better off than those who died gradually of hunger. And Shevi, captivity, Kashmi Kulam is the worst of all of them. The Kulu is Mehubei. Because all these things, hunger, death, the sword, all of those things are part of it. And let's remember the captives. Obviously, Pidin Shvuyim is a great mitzvah, and we should all do whatever is possible to bring back the captives. Of course, Ein Pidin es HaShvuyim Yoser Mikdei Demeyan. Once we got distracted a little bit by talking about how tzedakah works, now we're going to be talking about the details. One Rashi, Shvikulu is Nube, Shubiyad Evikachov Mazois Aspekal Chafzaim Lamavim Lacharabim Lerav. Tanaban, Kubashal Tzedakah. What are the rules for tzedakah? Collecting? Nigvis Bishnayim. It's collected with a minimum of 2. Mischalekas Bishleishen is given out with a minimum of 3. Nigvis Bishnayim, why 2? If you're going to have something set up that's official and telling people you need to do this, then there's a minimum of 2 for that. And the division has to be with a minimum of 3, just like a classic best in for monetary matters. Rashi and giving everyone like what they need. And the tamchoy, which is daily food for the poor, is collected with no less than 3 and distributed with that because it's collected and distributed. So Rashi will be collecting it with 2 and then what? Trying to find a third one to give it out immediately? Tamchoy, we're talking about a daily thing, and kupa is once a week. Tamchoy is for anybody who was in the city at that time. Kupa lani ha'ir, but the regular tzedakah thing is only for the poor of that city. Rishon b'nei Yerlan says kupa, tamchoy, v'tamchoy kupa. The people of the city can switch from kupa to tamchoy, from the weekly for the city to the daily anybody, or vice versa. Or change it to anything that they want, obviously, not just splurging on like Disney merch. The people of the city can make rules about measurements. They can say that we would like to institute a different measuring system. Rashi and on prices. Price caps. And on minimum wage. And to punish those who deviate. Rashi says al kitzasam witness is over al kitzas devrayam lahasiam midastin Torah. I do not see that in the words. Hang on. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Lehasiya means to make them travel away. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it means. I'm checking Ben Gershaim. Okay, so he says that kitsasan means the rules that they set. I'm not sure if Rashi's doing Blahasiyam, Midas in Torah. Amar Ma, the Gemara is going back, right? We had said before that, anyways, in Surarais, that we don't have an official community, you do this with less than 2. And immediately where does that come from? Or of Nachman or Mark, or of Nachman says from a pasuk. This is talking about in the money that was given in Parshas Truma, and now in Tetzaveh is being saying to take it and do it. They should be taking the funds. So it sounds like the problem is because it's officially going to the community and saying, do this. That means that, but even in one individual, it would be okay to just hold on to the tzedakah. That's a right to that once Rebbe appointed two brothers to distribute the, not to distribute, but to, keep track of accounting of the money. When it comes to trustworthiness, two brothers are going to be like one. They're like one. It's not like two different people that are going to keep each other in check necessarily. Okay. My Shrarusa. What exactly is so chashav about being a gabbai tzedakah that we're saying it takes two to collect? My Shrarusa to kupa to Amr alot yishenesin shrar alat tzibur. And the answer is Damar Nachman Amr Abu Barabul Fishem and Mashkin. And now let's talk about Filu Be'erev Shabbos. That if there's a need for tzedakah, we can actually take an object from someone who should be giving tzedakah as a collateral to make him give, even right before Shabbos when he might need it. After the Erev Shabbos, on the evening of Shabbos, not because he needs it, but he can say, hang on, I can't give you tzedakah right now. You can still do it. Aini? Really? Whoa, that's intense, the Gemara asks. I will punish all who oppress him. Meaning, Bnei Yisrael. Shmuel bar Marta. Mishmedera bafila gabay tzedakah. Even gabay tzedakah will have this. Upakati amosu lemashken. Lekasha the amid delay amid. It depends if the guy can afford it or not. The bad gabay tzedakah are the ones who are pressuring those who can't afford. Amid ashir. Kiyad Rava Achmed Rav Nasan Bar Ami. Rava compelled Rav Nasan Bar Ami v'shalkim minei arba mea zuzah tzedakah and took 400 zuz. That's like a double ksuba for tzedakah. I would think that would be like 2 years' wages. Okay, now we're darshaning a pasuk. V'maskilim yazhiru k'zayar orakiya. And the insightful ones will radiate like the shining firmament. Whoa. So we're darshaning Zedayin. Shadon din emes la'amita. This is a judge who judged truthfully all the way. Umatzdike harabim, and those who make righteous the multitudes. Like stars forever. These are those who are collecting tzedakah. Rashi says, they're the maskilim, because Rashi is paraphrasing the pasuk maskil eldol, that they are using their insight to see what a poor person needs. We have in a brisa of this part about the. Oh, actually, no. Well, it doesn't say maskilim here. It says matzike harabim. Maskilim mesir k'zarakia zedayin shdan din emes la'amitai. Oh. Uga bait tzedakah, and that's what Rashi's going on, I bet. I see my father has a go over here. Uga bait tzedakah. Right? Gishmak. Because they're bechlal the maskilim, maskil al-dal. Umatztiki rabim k'kechav v'ed. Eilim lande tinai. Guys, these are those who teach children in cheder. Man, like who? Which ones are the ones who are considered to be those who make the multitudes righteous? Amar Rav, Kigoin Rav Shmuel bar Sheilat. Of Shmuel bar Sheilat, the Rebbe. The Rav, Ashkar Rav Shmuel bar Sheilat, Avakai begins. The Rav saw Shmuel bar Sheilat doing gardening. Amalei Shavakte lehimanusech. What, you've abandoned your faithfulness to teaching? Sagt Rashi, Zaygesh Masiki Rav Mensch Malam, Den Machanchen Oisam B'derech Tov Shavakte lehimanusech Sheis Ragel Lamdem Be'amun Olam B'Vleish Vagabam Tamed. Amar Le, Shmuel bar Sheilat said to Rav, Lav ho inna klisa shnen delay chazili. Hasn't it been 13 years that you haven't seen me take a break? Vashanami datoy yilovayu. And even now I'm thinking about my students. Datoy lost me tonight, guys. V'Rabbanan mai. What about the rabbis? We want a pasuk too. V'Rabbanan mai. What does it say about the Talmidei Chachamim? Amar Ravina ve'ayavav k'tzeis Hashem esh b'gvurasai. Those who love Hashem like the sun emerging in its full strength. Tan Rabbanan gabay tzedakah and Rishon le'Fishem izeh. You have two people collecting tzedakah, they can't separate from each other. So it shouldn't look as if he's splitting up on purpose to steal. They can split up slightly. As long as they're in the same general vicinity. Matzah. If a Gaboy Tzedakah found money which he's allowed to keep for himself, don't pocket it. It looks bad. You should put it in the tzedakah container, and then when he gets home, he should take it out. Similarly, if a Gaboy Tzedakah had a debt of his own private funds he had lent to someone, and he got paid back in public, don't pocket that money. Put it in the tzedakah wallet, and take it when you get home. Gaboy tzedakah who don't have enough poor people to give it to. Parson for min la'achim. Portin. Wow. Partin la'achirim, partin la'atzman. They have to change the money in so it doesn't decay. They do that through someone else. They don't switch their own funds. Partin prutei shegavu loikchen din reikes afishar prutei shel necheshes machlidos. So you're switching it in for different denominations, but the Gaboy Tzedakah should not do with their own money. It looks bad. Need something? You just listening? Gaboy tamchoy she'en l'maniyam l'chalek. So the tamchoy is actual food. Vein partin la'atzman in Rashi penyach shedum shepartin begezel. So the tamchoy people have food to unload now. Meichrin la'achayim v'meichrin la'atzman is held to others, not themselves. Ma'ishal tzedakah man ein man in son shtayim. You don't count it 2, 4, 6, 8. Ela achas achas, you have to count it one at a time. Ein man in shnayim shnayim pen yemu shnayim unot avin man ela achad. People might think that he's actually counting them as 1, 2 when he's taking them in groups of 2. Okay. Where? Okay. Omar Abaye said, Mereish, originally Rabbi Yosef, Marat Tzipit Ve'Kinishta. He didn't sit on the shul tzipis. He didn't want to set my master. Who is that? That'd be Rav Nachman, right? I think. He didn't sit on the shul mats because they were bought with tzedakah money, and he thought that was wrong. But Kevin the Shama, once he heard Lahadatanya, once he heard that we learned this, what we learned in the Brisa of Lishnaisa Lakomashir, so that you can change, the people of the city have the right to redirect tzedakah money. Avi Yosef, he would sit there. Amar Abaye said, Meiresh originally Ava Ovid Mar Trey Kisi. He used to have two different wallets for tzedakah. One for the poor in general, one for those of the city. Kevan, the Shamal the Amar Le Shmuel Rav Tachlifa bar Avdimi. Once he heard where Rav Shmuel said Rav Tachlifa bar Avdimi, which was where was that? Meaning, I thought the Brisa itself spoke about switching stuff. So where does Shmuel Rav Tachlifa bar Avdimi? I'm not sure where that was. Once he heard that, Ovid Chad Kisa, I'm on to Testament Aleph, he made just one wallet. V'asni Allah made it tonight. Oh my gosh, I read this totally wrong. He heard that Rav Shmuel had told her, Tachlifa bar Avdimi, Avid, make Chad Kisa, a single wallet, purse, V'asni Allah, make a Tanai on it. V'asni Masna Matzibur L'chalkal M'cholabal. The Tanai is however it ends up. Iwanami Ovid Chad Kisa, V'asni Allah. He also made one purse and made a Tanai on it. Rav Ashi Amar, no, Rav Ashi said, I don't even need to make it tonight. They're called the Ka'asi Adaita Didi Asi. They're called the Asi Los is Moizakupa. Anyone who's giving it, they know that I'm distributing it as I see fit. But you know, you have no land. Whoever I feel it should be given to, whoever I want, I give it to them. Okay. All right. That's it for today. Shkoyach.